Am I the idiot for yelling at my roommate for not sharing ice cream? I live with my sister and her boyfriend, who I will refer to as a roommate. He is my age and was my friend before he met my sister. I often bring home food to share with them, because I like to be able to eat with them and bond. They do not spend a lot of time with me otherwise because I am autistic and tend to be really annoying. About 3 weeks ago, I, female 24, bought my roommate, male 24, and sister, 19, about 4 gallons of ice cream and toppings for us all to share. I intended for them to take as much as they wanted, and while they took a lot more than I had expected, I did not complain. I did tell them they could have some. But a few days ago my sister came to me and explained that our roommate bought ice cream for himself and that neither of us are to eat it, as it is just for him, and he is having a bad week. Okay, fine by me, he has every right to get stuff for himself. It was weird that she brought it up though, and it felt kind of targeted to me. I have never taken any food of his at any point. He writes his name on stuff and I don't touch it, so why the clarity with this ice cream? Here is where I became angry. And I am thinking I am probably unreasonable and that my anger was a result of my mental issues and not any real slight on me. I need other opinions. This morning I spotted my sister and him eating the ice cream. They didn't say anything to me, and did not make any move to offer me any. I made a sarcastic comment about him not sharing when I shared so much fairly recently. And he replies really in an irritated voice with, "I only had one bowl." The thing is, it was a cereal bowl-sized serving of ice cream, absolutely loaded with toppings like it's no-wait day at the Froyo shop. I don't know if he had more after that or if my sister ate the rest, but he certainly had more than enough of my ice cream to not be considered an insignificant amount. So him acting like it was such an insignificant share pissed me off. Not only could he not be bothered to share with me, he goes out of his way to tell me he won't share with anyone, only to share with everyone in the household other than me. And then on top of that, he dismisses what I shared with him as being insignificant. I understand that she is his girlfriend, but he specifically had her tell me he wasn't sharing this ice cream with anybody, so it feels really shitty that he actually only meant that I specifically could not have any. I yelled at them I would never share any food with them again. I stormed off and apologized later. He and my sister both agree that I was being unreasonable. I spoke to my mother about it though, and she agreed with me that he was wrong and I should not share food with them anymore. Am I the idiot for yelling at him when he really did not have any obligation to share with me? You're the idiot. You have no more right to your roommate's food than you do to rummage through their wallet. Well and good that you decided to share your ice cream, but if that meant that they could never have ice cream again without you having a right to it, that doesn't work. You're the idiot. You threw a temper tantrum, which you are entirely too old for. You chose to buy ice cream to share, which is great. He bought ice cream for himself after a bad week and didn't want anyone else eating it, and there's nothing wrong with that. He then decided to allow his girlfriend to have some. Again, nothing wrong with that. He wasn't obligated to offer you any and you weren't entitled to any. Making sarcastic comments and having a fit were unneeded responses to that. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot if I spoke to my in-laws directly about wanting their help more with our kids? My husband, male 32, and I, female 34, have 2 children aged almost 21 months and 4 months. Naturally, this is a difficult and challenging season of our life. Any parent would understand that we are surviving, not necessarily thriving. My in-laws sold their home 3.5 hours away and purchased a home 1.5 hours away under the veil of being closer to us to be more actively involved grandparents to our 2 children. Since they have moved, we do not see them any more than we did when they lived 3.5 hours away. This breaks my husband's heart. Added, they decided to move on their own accord, and told us for months it was because they wanted to be closer to us, which was wonderful to hear, and we were excited for them to be closer for things like grandparents reading day at daycare or for being there Christmas Day with our kids. I encourage him to ask them directly to come visit, to come over XYX days we are free. And encourage him to set up a plan with them so they know we are wanting some help. 2 under 2 has certainly been taxing, and especially the last few weeks, toddler tantrums. I have asked my husband to be more direct and tell his parents we need some help and a break. He instead takes the passive approach of saying if you're free and want to come visit we'd love to see you. Instead of a direct we need help, can you come over? The in-laws have not taken him up on his offers to come visit. My husband is of the opinion that if they wanted to come see their grandkids, they would, so he would not beg or bag, which I don't disagree with. However, we are all at the end of our ropes, and some extra hands to help with the baby and entertain a toddler would be really wonderful. Would I be the idiot if I spoke to my in-laws directly about us wanting their help more? Additional context. We have both had several mental breakdowns in the last few weeks from overstress, frustration, and exhaustion. My family lives 1,500 miles away. We could hire a sitter or a doula. But this is enmeshed with my husband's desire for his parents to be more actively involved in our kids' lives. Edited to add, we are certainly not hoping for someone else to raise our kids. We are also not asking them to come over and babysit. We are asking them to come spend time and maybe feed the baby for us while we tackle some chores or play cards with the toddler so he gets some more 1:1 attention. Edited, we are not looking for a babysitter, nor is our intent to leave them with our kids and we leave to go do our own thing away from the home. We are hoping/asking for them to come join us in our crazy on a Saturday for a few hours. Our kids are in daycare during the week and we both work full-time. We are not looking for childcare solutions. Just a little relief from the crazy on a Saturday now and then. I also am asking mostly because my husband wants to have his family help and is heartbroken then don't want to help more. We can totally hire someone easily. I am asking how, or if, it is appropriate for me to tell them directly that we would like their involvement, specifically. You're the idiot. You and your husband chose to have these kids. They are your responsibility. Your husband's approach with his parents is fine if they want to help, they will initiate it. You are not entitled to anything from them, whatever your husband desires. As you said, you can hire a sitter/nanny/ or whatever. Yes, you would be an idiot. Your in-laws aren't obligated to help you with your kids. If you need help, hire some help. You even say in the post that you are able to do so. It's sad that they don't want to come visit more, but I think your husband is taking the right approach. I don't see how making it clear that what you actually want them to do is work, not just visit, is going to make visiting any more appealing to them than it seems to be now. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for having semi-long phone calls with my family while on my honeymoon? Me, female 29, and my husband, male 30, are on the 5th night of our honeymoon out of state. Last night I got a call from my sister, female 21, who lives with us, that my brother, male 23, was in an emergency situation. We talked for about 30 minutes as she explained what happened. Some of it did involve cops coming to my home. Tonight, my brother called me asking for my advice. The situation is very serious and may involve legal implications even though he is innocent. He and I talked for a half hour, and my husband decided to try to go to sleep. I admit I should have left the room for the call, but I guess I thought he was somewhat invested and might want to hear what was going on. He chimed in a few times to also offer advice to my brother. I offered what I could, being so far away, and we made a plan for when I got back. After that call, I immediately called my grandma who is in the same town as my brother to see if she could reach out and help him while I am out of town. I spent 13 minutes giving her the rundown. When I got off the phone with my grandma, my husband was upset. He felt like I should have just had a brief conversation and reminded them I'm on my honeymoon and to not disturb us. He was also mad that I spent so much time on the phone while he was trying to go to sleep. I would normally agree with him if it was some sort of minor family drama. However, we don't normally have any sort of drama, and this is an extreme situation. We are very close, and I didn't feel it was right to leave my younger siblings trying to figure it out themselves. He and I will discuss it in the morning if it's still bothering him, but I just have to know, am I the idiot for spending time on the phone with my family during our honeymoon? ETA. My phone call with my brother was to get a plan for when I get back, and my phone call to my grandma was to get him some emotional support while I'm gone. Both phone calls with the purpose of quickly, but compassionately, handling the situation to the best of my current ability so I could bring my focus back to my husband for the remainder of our trip. Realizing now that the purpose of these calls may not have been clear to my husband, so I will discuss with him when he's up in the AM. Not the idiot. Emergencies happen no matter what someone has going on. He is being very cruel to expect you to blow off family, even on your honeymoon. Apparently it's a legal issue, so ask how he would feel if his sister blew him off while she was on her honeymoon. If you were just chit-chatting, you would be TA, but you weren't. He's being unreasonable. You're the idiot. What do you think you can do for him from many miles away? If he needs a lawyer, have him talk to a lawyer. Your advice isn't helping him legally. If he needs to talk to someone, have him talk to someone back home. How are you solving anything you have no control over and needs to be handled by a lawyer? Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for not paying my daughter's rent anymore due to her jealousy towards her sister? I, female 43, have 22 Sam and 14 Kathy daughters. Our family was dirt poor as Sam was growing up. It was a bad time overall. We knew something needed to change when Sam was 8, so I went to college at night. We could only afford a few classes a semester, so it took longer than 4 years. I finally graduated when Sam was 14, but we were still poor even with a new much better job due to debt. When she was 18 it finally got a lot better. I got really lucky and ended up in a high demand field. We went from struggling for food on the table to being able to go on vacation twice a year without problems. Kathy was 10 when she was much more stable, so her and Sam's childhoods are a lot different. Kathy can go to a nice school while Sam's school was a poop inner-city public school. I don't have to buy from thrift stores anymore. She has an iPhone and so on. Now I pay for Sam to go to college without any debt, and she comes on all family vacations free, pays her apartment rent, and so on. The problem is Sam is so jealous of her sister, the school is taking people on a trip to DC, and that's where all of this came to a head. Sam yelled at her sister about how she is a spoiled brat, and told me I should treat her the same way she was growing up. That she should hand me down clothes and have to go to a poop school. We got into a bigger argument about how she believes I should be poor to her sister. I told her if she wants us to be poor so much then she can pay her own rent from now on. She called me an ass when she realized I was serious. She went to our aunts, and they are on her side. Am I the idiot? I will give her a call, see if we can work this out. You're the idiot because you're failing to realize how badly your oldest daughter's childhood hurt her. Yes, you're helping her now, but that doesn't undo the damage already done. Keep doing what you're doing, that benefits each girl. Family therapy would be a huge benefit for everyone. You're the idiot. So you decided that it was time for a change once Kathy was born, and you worked to give her a better life. Sam had a shitty childhood, but you're giving Kathy a much better one, and can't see how fricked up that is? Am I the idiot for addressing a white belt woman's behavior during jiu-jitsu class? I, male 31, am a blue belt who trains at Beta Team Jiu-Jitsu under Craig Belushi in Austin, Texas. I returned to training after a significant break. Jane, 25F, a white belt woman, has been practicing BJJ for a little over a year. She's quite passionate about the sport, and loves John Danaher, and idolizes Gordon Ryan. Our instructor doesn't cover leg locks in our class for good reason, but Jane took it upon herself to learn them through the Danaher videos. The incident, during one of our rolls, I was paired up with Jane. She wasted no time and pulled guard, swiftly transitioning to a single leg X guard. Her technique was impressive, but her eagerness to secure a heel hook worried me. I managed to avoid her initial attempts, but she persisted, refusing to listen to my concerns. I became increasingly concerned when she aggressively targeted submissions, including leg locks that hadn't been taught in our class. She was extremely aggressive when we were rolling, when I was trying to not use my strength to simply overpower her, because neither I nor she would benefit from it. After all, we aren't trying to beat each other, we're trying to get better at jiu-jitsu. She did not show the same courtesy, and she loves to go for stuff like neck cranks, wrist locks, cross faces. I think she even went for a kanibami before she fell onto her face on her own. Politely, I requested that Jane refrain from applying such techniques, explaining that I hadn't learned them yet and would prefer to focus on the techniques taught by our instructor. Unfortunately, my requests fell on deaf ears. Jane continued to disregard my concerns and persisted in attacking my legs throughout the roll. As the roll continued, Jane shifted to an outside ashigarami and initiated a straight ankle lock. She cranked it hard, and despite my immediate tap, she held on for an extra second before releasing the submission. This left me feeling frustrated and concerned for my safety. In response, during the next roll I transitioned into a dominant position called the crucifix hold. This position allowed me to maintain control over her movements and assert my boundaries until the time limit expired, without resorting to excessive force. I did not attempt to submit her because I no longer wished to roll with her. Post-roll fallout, once the class concluded, I approached Abby, a new white belt, and cautioned her about Jane's approach during rolls. Additionally, I warned Julia, another blue belt who is new to our gym, to be cautious when rolling with Jane due to her tendency to roll with excessive force. Jane learned this, confronted me, and accused me of alienating her from our training community. She said she should get to decide how hard she wants to go with her partners on her own terms. Am I the idiot for addressing Jane's behavior during our jiu-jitsu class? You're the idiot. You always go to your instructor with these kinds of problems. You were alienating her. If she rolls in a way you are uncomfortable with, you remove yourself, but you don't get to tell others how they should feel with the roll. You're the idiot. Are you the instructor? Is it your job to inform your classmates about someone's behavior? Is it your job to correct Jane? How about you focus on you told Jane you didn't like how she sparred, so don't spar with her again unless she agrees to stick to what was taught in class. Anything outside of that is none of your business. Either take it up with the instructor or stay quiet. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.